Hey, Brooke here. This is my Gent Journal July video. I'll be showing you how to make split journals, so ones that have two sets of signatures. And yeah, here we go.
First, let's gather our supplies. I've included a list here for you. The only thing that's really optional is the binding guide. It does make it easier if you use one, but it's not impossible to do without. You can just mark the marks with your pencil and then kind of eyeball it. It's not as accurate, but it does work. So today I'm using a different book than I used for my Messy May journal. These are really narrow hardcover books that are children's books. So they're a bit different. They have a cardboard spine. First of all, we're cutting into the what holds it together. Obviously, you can see I made a boo-boo. I cut a little too deep, so you want to be quite gentle here. Take your time and don't cut through the cover. Luckily, I had a couple extra books to work with, so this is a more gentle version. So once you've cut both sides, the book block should come right out. And you can see there that I have that cardboard spine that I don't generally have. Trim off the excess just to make it cleaner. And then you're going to measure out your holes that your signatures are going to be bound into. So a good rule of thumb is to line up your signatures where you want them. Leave a little bit of space in between so that they can flip. And then mark your places you want your holes with a pencil. And then in the center of the spine, use your awl to poke the holes. I used 3 holes per split page pamphlet signature. You can use however many you like. So here I'm using washi tape just to cover up the ugly bits and to hold down that seam from where I cut the cover. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just don't like having that stuff showing, so I just cover it with washi tape. Yours should look similar to this at this stage, and then we're going to add our signatures. So mine are already cut to size. It depends on the size of your book. Just make sure you have enough room to flip them. So I marked my hole, like where I wanted to put my holes, according to lining it up with the spine where I'd already poked the binding holes. And now I'm just putting it through my bookbinding tool and poking those holes. So it should look like this. So your holes should pretty much line up as closely as possible. Next, we're going to actually bind our journal. This is just some regular yarn I had. I use beeswax that I got at the organic food store to wax my thread. You want to make sure you use quite a bit of that wax so that there's no fuzzy feeling on your thread. You want it to be quite smooth and for it to feel a bit stiff and crunchy. And then you can thread your needle and get to binding. So we're starting in the first spot here, putting a knot at the end so that it doesn't come through that signature, and that will just anchor the end. So we're going section by section. Mine only has the 3 holes, so my binding didn't quite come together as I liked. You can see I only have 1 loop going over, which kind of bugs me, but whatever, it doesn't really change the book at all. Once you have both signatures sewn in, this is what it should look like, and your spine should look similar to that. And then the washi tape is quite optional. I just like that it cleans it up a bit. So I just go right to the edge of those signatures, put some washi tape, and then it looks like this. So it's a bit cleaner and looks nicer in photos. So here is our book that we bound together. You have so many options in this book, which is why I love it. I love that you can work on 1 page, you can work on 4, and then you can flip it and get all kinds of different combinations. My recommendation is to choose a book cover with a sturdy spine. It will make your job a lot easier. If it is a thicker book, you can use more signatures, but in a narrow cover like this, I stuck to just 1 set of signatures. It just made it a little easier.
So I made a different version of the book that I made for Messy May, my split journal. So I really hope that you enjoy it. And if you try it, tag me. I'd love to see.